Today on Top 3 Tuesday, we're going to be talking about neck pain. Hey everybody, it's Dr. Andy, Dr. Brandon here with Twin Cities Movement. And so for today for Top 3 Tuesday, we're going to be talking about upper neck pain. So the upper neck is a mobility segment. Now, if you remember from last week, the lower neck, lower cervical spine is a stability segment. So we're going to be talking a little bit about how the upper neck is affected by like a text neck, right? So your upper cervical or your upper cervical extension, your upper back flexion, this kind of you have these sticking in this position, can cause some headaches, can cause some neck pain, can cause, your occasional radiating arm pain, things like that. These are all possible symptoms of sitting at a desk too much, sitting in a car too much, carrying a heavy backpack all the time, like these sorts of things. Doing too much of one thing usually causes problems, as we like to say. So this is just one way you can manage if you have upper neck pain because of too much of any of these things. So the first thing that we're going to do, we're going to call the prone baby push-up. So I'm going to have Dr. Brandon here lie on his stomach. Knees are going to be kind of on the inside of the knees, where his knees are going to be resting in a comfortable position there, resting on his forehead so that he can breathe through his nose. Nice neutral position through the shoulder and the elbow. So what he's going to do then is press his elbows into the floor. So that sets his shoulder blades into a position, establishing your serratus anterior to do the work that it's supposed to do in stabilizing your shoulder blade. Then he's going to raise his head up. He's going to keep his chin tucked while he's raising his head up. So that's going to challenge the stability in the upper cervical spine and give him a good amount of kind of exercise in the upper back as well. So you'll probably do 10 to 15 of these. If you feel any pain in your low back, you can basically create your canister to challenge that as well and kind of combat the lower back pain that you can potentially get from this sort of position as well. All right, so then the next thing, I'm going to have you on your hands and knees here. We're going to do a seated dorsal glide, or in this case, it's a quadruped dorsal glide. So what you're going to do here is tuck your chin, and then you're going to retract it. You're going to pull it back into your neck. So when you do this, you should probably feel a little bit of a pull in here, maybe even a little bit of a pinch in your upper back. This is a good challenge for people who kind of just end up in this position frequently and just fall into this position frequently. This is a good way to offset that. You can also provide overpressure, so you push a little bit more into your chin and just get a little bit more of that pull into there. Just, again, 10 to 15 of those as needed. It's a good one to do, especially if you're starting to get some pain, like into your shoulder or down your arm or anything like that. The last thing we're going to do is just active range of motion. So you might not think that this would be useful, but oftentimes we don't get range of motion all the way to each side. This is not something we use very often. Maybe if we're driving, but really not that often otherwise, unless we're really intentional about getting all of these ranges of motion. And then if you find that that might not be enough, or you want a little bit more, you can just add a little overpressure. You can just push it a little bit further in. Now, we're not talking about really, really pushing hard or anything like that. Just a little bit of a push to each side, a little bit of a pull down. These sorts of things they have a good stretch, but the thing we talk about with stretching is repetition is what we're looking for, not holding a stretch. We're teaching the body to be comfortable in a new position. So that's why we repeat. That's why we do things over and over and not just hold a position for an extended period of time. So, you do those as needed. You do those as you have a headache, and you try and manage your headache that way instead of with aspirin or with ibuprofen or something like that. You can try something like this first, and oftentimes it helps. So if you'd like to know more, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can like or share on Facebook. You can follow on Instagram or Twitter. You can subscribe to our email newsletter. We are frequently releasing useful information for people to consume about self-care. So yeah, thank you very much for watching.